This is Larry Smittendorf. I am a graduate student at Kansas State University working on a Master of Science degree in Adult, Occupational, and Continuing Education. The presentation you're about to watch is a project that I am doing for my EDACE 765 Adult Learners and Integrating Technology into Curriculum class. For the interview project of this class, I reached out to a former coworker and friend of mine, Lisa Geerlings, that works with J.E. Dunn Construction. She is going to give us some insights on some of the human resource management training programs that they have and use in their organization.
Thank you, Larry. I'm Lisa Geerlings, and I've worked in training and development for about 25 years, and I have seen technology, of course, play an increasing role in what we do to make sure our learners are equipped with the information they need to do their jobs better. Larry, I think our students struggle using the learning management system for a number of reasons. First, I would say that it is an issue of familiarity, and people who are more seasoned in the workforce just struggling with the idea of getting into consume learning online. But that's not always the case. I would say that our young career professionals don't struggle at all, and in fact they would like to see more learning available online for them to consume. So there is a little bit of a fear of technology, I think, on some levels, but not on others. And I also think that the technology itself can be an issue. Many of the consumers of our learning work on remote job sites, and the learning management system relies on bandwidth to work well. And I think that when learners experience technology problems, whether it's lack of a plug-in or lack of bandwidth, it's demotivating.
I would agree. As Lisa and I have discussed before we started this interview, I have struggled with this class for the same reason. Lack of bandwidth, poor internet speed, things like that have made the class a bit of a struggle. So those things are definitely worth considering when you're trying to set up online curriculum.
No doubt about it. We did discover early in the implementation of our LMS that the way we produce our learning has a lot to do with how it runs. So, for example, rather than loading just an AVI file, we know now to package that in an MP4 format, and that way it streams and plays better. So that eliminates some of those issues.
This question, we're going to ask Lisa to explain thoughts and processes that they're looking at to improve student engagement in their learning management system.
I found that trying to increase usage for the learning management system really includes, number one, getting buy-in from the directors of different departments and making sure they understand how using this system to distribute learning can really improve their operations and their efficiency and making sure people are trained. So that's first and foremost. The second thing that I've done that's been extremely effective is more of a grassroots approach, where I partner with people who I know are already understanding the benefits of using the system. And we might pick a population like field superintendents who are traditionally known to be resistant to technology. And we will set up something very simple, just simply going in to self-enroll in a class. And we will provide a job aid that shows our superintendents step-by-step how to do that. And then once they've successfully done that and they provide testimonial on how easy it is, we take that message to others and say, see how easy it was for our East Region superintendents to use this? You can too in your West Region. And so using that kind of grassroots approach to put the learning out there, to gain testimonial on how easy it is to use, and then promote that in the other regions will really help.
Right. Do you find that as the users become more confident, they self-promote within their organization and self-train others without your help?
They most certainly do that.
So there again, that ties back to the class that I've been taking where we're doing that online collaboration piece. You get the users the look and feel of it, and then they kind of collaborate on their own, and it just kind of blossoms from there.
It really does. And then I have people coming to ask me how they can use the LMS to achieve some of their learning objectives.
Right. They think outside the box on other applications that you hadn't really thought of yet.
They sure do.
Awesome.
The Harvard Manage Mentor system really is a tool within a blended approach that we take to training our managers. The reason that we're using the Harvard Manage Mentor system is there was an identified need several years ago with regard to training. And what we found in the course of developing competencies for our learners is that we do a really good job of teaching people how to build buildings, and we definitely had opportunity in teaching our people how to build people. And so in search of a program to help managers become better managers and builders of people, we found the Harvard School of Business. And a program within that School of Business is called the Harvard Manage Mentor. And they have a number of management development topics, including 6 that we were particularly interested in. And we felt like taking that online learning for a certain group of individuals to set a baseline of what a certain aspect of management should look like, for example, performance appraisals or the ability to delegate, would be a great way to create a common language among our group. And then to give this rather academic program a base in reality, we decided to bring our learners together after they consumed that online content to talk about what these topics mean in the real world. And the leaders of those, what we call live cafes, are J.E. Dunn executives. And so these executives who've had experience in leading and building others also go in and consume that content. And then we get these folks together and just talk about how these concepts apply in our real world.
With this question, Lisa's going to tell us a little bit about how they get together through their online cafe meetings to discuss and collaborate.
Yes. And to clarify, the online portion isn't really a collaboration site. The online portion is individual self-directed learning, where the learner consumes the content and creates for themselves a common language to use with others. And then we actually get together live in a classroom setting to talk about the concepts that we learned there. That being said, we still pull technology into it in some, maybe different forms. For example, when we get together for those live cafes, we still have employees in other offices throughout our region. For example, our cafe might be in Kansas City, but we've got participants in Omaha and Minnesota and Iowa. So we pull in our video conferencing technology, and it is as if we've got a virtual classroom going on. And we've also found ways to incorporate WebEx technology and a way to bridge our remote participants in through WebEx. So they'll have a webcam, they will be on the phone through an audio bridge, and they'll be in our conference room audio bridge, and it's as if they are there. So that's how we've used some of that technology. Now the challenges are, of course, people who are remote and joining via WebEx can see they can see the PowerPoint presentations that we use. They can hear us, but if job site noise starts to happen in the background, it's a little harder for them to participate. They have to put their phone on mute. They have to try their best to concentrate through all the noise and still manage to participate in a meaningful way.
Yeah, I think we all can kind of understand to concentrate through the background noise.
No doubt. No doubt.
And I've done that too with some of the classes that I have taken. We connect via Zoom video live into the classroom on instances where we have to travel or things like that, so that we still get participation, but can't necessarily be at a hard classroom on a given night because of schedules or whatever. So it's
Correct.
very, very helpful when you can do that.
It is. It is. Another thing too is this program is a what we call a national program, so it applies to all regions within JE Dunn, but it's initiated on a regional level, and then it's even taken down to an office level. So we may have 10 or 12 cafe sessions within a given month. So if somebody can't make a cafe session that they're assigned to, they can call into and join another cafe session. So, that's interesting to coordinate at times, but we do give people options to participate.
Yeah, I don't expect you struggle as much as some of the experiences I've had. Some of my past classes, one of the guys was actually overseas, so it was like a 12-hour time difference. So he was like the middle of the night for his participation in the class. He was up at 2 or 3 in the morning trying to participate, plus going back to work the next day. So it's a challenge.
You're right. We don't have that challenge. Our biggest challenge is, a potential 4-hour time difference between the East region and the West region, but not quite as severe.
This concludes my interview with Lisa Geerlings of J.E. Dunn Construction. The main takeaways I had from the project were about learning management systems to be familiar with what the tools that you're going to use. Make sure that you understand your learning demographics and assess their prior learning experience to be able to adapt your class. For the Harvard Management System, that sounds like a pretty good tool, at least for the way they use it, to do that prior learning assessment. And just understanding how to use those learning resources again. The critical portion was the live cafe, where you actually get together and reflect on the learning to develop, as Lisa said, a common language for your new knowledge. So thank you for viewing my presentation, and enjoy.